Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to my first old school video in a long time. And I'm actually going to start it off by hitting 70 ranged, as you can see. And that means I can actually use a carrier's crossbow, which is quite the upgrade from a rune crossbow, I feel like. As well as the Dorgushon crossbow, which I'm actually using right now, just for leveling because it's very cheap to do. Now, I think I have quite a bad Slayer level. I have like 41, and Slayer is very important to make money on old school and overall in RuneScape, I guess, and I feel like that's something I should level. So anyways, I'm going to head over to the GE and buy a Carol's crossbow, and then I'm going to try to get a cool task from Sheldar. Unfortunately, this clip right here, when I did get a task, I did pre-record, and as you can see, it's actually very corrupt. It's lagging a lot, but I did actually get a task of 119 cal fights, which is quite decent of a task. I think it gives quite decent experience. So I think I'm going to kill the small ones and bring out my melee gear and train some defense on these. Alright, so we're done with the cal fight task, and I did actually level all the way from 45 to 48 defense, and I also got 42 Slayer, which is quite awesome. And the loot overall is not that bad actually for an easy task like this. The Ranars are way too high in value, I feel like. 9.2k for a Ranar. That is quite awesome, but I do think I have a medium clue in the bank, so let's complete that. Alright, Yuri, let's see what you have for us for this medium clue. Let's open this, and we get not the best reward I've seen ever. That is my second medium, by the way, and not even a trimmed item. Alright, 509 GP, I will take that. Please do not give me Zygomites. If that happens, I'm going to cry. 118 Pyrofiends. That is actually quite good for clue scrolls, I think the medium ones at least. So let's do that task and see if we can get a clue scroll. Unfortunately, we did not get a medium clue from this task, but what we did get was actually 50 defense, as you can see right here, and we also hit 43 Slayer, which is also really cool. But let's pick up another task and see what we get. I really need 55 Slayers for Broadbolt, so please give me a task that gives a lot of experience. Fire Giants, I actually think that's a good task. I think that gives quite a lot of Slayer experience. They're quite tough monsters though on old school, I feel like, compared to like RS3, but I think I can manage it somehow. As I got a bunch of Fire Giants as a Slayer task, and they're actually quite tough for me to kill, I decided to complete the Waterfall quest so I can actually pretty efficiently safe spot them behind a chair or something like that with ranged. As ranged is actually my highest stat, I feel like that's the most efficient way of killing them. But as you can see, I also got a decent amount of experience. I think I leveled from, let's see, 57 maybe to 58. Yeah, there you go, 58 strength. I don't think I got a single attack level, but I'm actually only 11,000 experience off 61, so that's pretty cool. But I'm going to try to safe spot some Fire Giants now. Maybe we can get a clue, I'm not sure about that, but let's see what we can get. As a matter of fact, I already had a hard clue in the bank, so I decided to just complete that before actually getting into some Fire Giants, because they can obviously drop the hard clue and it would be kind of sad if I would have got the drop, but didn't get it because I already had one in the bank. So anyways, this is actually the first hard clue for my account, which is quite exciting. Let's see if the first reward is a good one, and we get... That seems like a trimmed item, doesn't it? What trimmed item is that? Armadillo Kite Shield. How much is that? 43k, it says, according to Old School Buddy, so not too good, but getting a trimmed item of any kind on the first clue is a win for me, so that's pretty cool. Whoa, that task took a long time to complete, but we're done with it now, and I got from 43 to 46 Slayer and from 50 to 53 defense, so let's pick up a new task. Let's have a look on how many Slayer points we currently have with 18 tasks done. We have 86 Slayer points, we need 400 for the Slayer helmet. I think that's going to be the first thing we're going to buy. But let's get a new assignment and let's see what we get. We get 126 Basilisks. I think we need a Mirror Shield for that, but I think I can do that. This task was actually surprisingly good for money. Have a look at this. All the herbs, I'm going to actually just remove the food I have in the dagger. Actually, the food isn't really worth that much, but it's like 110k for a task, which is pretty good at the moment because my bank is like 600k. So I'm pretty happy with that task, and I did level quite some defense levels as well. As you can see, I have a task of 135 rock slugs, but I don't feel like it's worth it on any kind of level. It's bad experience, it's bad cash, it's just overall bad, so I'm going to skip that, even though it does cost quite some points. But I'm going to grab a new task and let's see what we can get. We get Lesser Demons. I feel like that's quite a decent task. I think it's decent money and it's also pretty decent experience, hopefully. Jeez, I think I have like 1 arrow left. I'm gonna have to probably pick them up again if I can finish this task. This is actually the last lesser demon as well. I have 1 arrow left, and I think I started like 1,500. But there we go, the lesser demon task is done. We're actually very close to 49 Slayer, so we gained like 1.5, I guess a bit more than 1.5 Slayer level from 47. And that was task number 20. We got 50 points for that. I guess that kind of covered up for skipping a task. And the money is actually not that bad. The reason why it's not that bad is because you get these ensouled demon heads. The rune med helms are not that, like, they're 11k or 12k, and I got one of them from 160 kills. But then the runes, I didn't actually pick up all of them, but you can see here the runes are okay-ish in value, actually not that good at all. But then we have these heads, and they seem to be 5k each. I'm not sure if that's actually the value of the, like, their actual value. It doesn't seem like it, does it? I'm going to remove everything, and always body guide by 0 GP. Okay, that's not true, but 21k for the heads, it seems like. So the task overall is like, I don't know, 35k or something, which is not too bad. At least for me, it's some extra cash, I guess. You know what, let's just quickly see what they're actually worth. They said 0 GP according to those, buddy, but that's obviously not true. Let's see. Oh, okay, they do not sell for the normal price. I think we're going to have to drop it down to maybe, I don't know, let's say like 3k or something. I think that should be fine. They should sell instantly. And yep, they do. Alright, seem to be about 4k each, so that is not too bad profit right there. And the next task is going to be Desert Lizard. Really? I'm gonna have to buy some ice coolers now. I don't even know the price of those. I think this is going to be quite an annoying task, but I don't want to skip any task because I want to keep my points, so let's do it. Alright, so basically I screwed up a lot of times on this task. As you can see, I have 1 ice cooler left, which I'm actually gonna use right there. And I still have 5 to kill. That's because, like, when they're low health, they need to be at a certain amount of health. I'm not really sure how much it is, but that's when you need to use the ice cooler on them, and then they just die. And the first time I went here, I was like, do I use it right on them, like now? And I wasted 1 of them, and I knew I was gonna have to bank because I just used it literally on 100% health. So yeah, I wasted 1 of those, but then after that, it's been like 4 fails after that one, which is just random ice coolers I use when they're like 10% and they need to be like 9 or some stupid stuff like that. But anyways, I'm gonna have to bank and I'm gonna finish this task up. For cash, it's not very good, I think, at all. Let's have a look at this. I think the runes are the most of it, I guess. Let's see, yeah, like 4k from that. Irids, yeah, I don't know, they're decent cash, they're uncuts as well, but like 20k from a task, which is not that good. I think I spent about maybe 5k on the ice coolers. I'm not sure how much they're worth, but yeah. And we're about to kill the last one here. I actually literally just now got 58 defense, as you can see on the bar right here. But yeah, let's use this ice cooler. And by the way, when I bought these, I checked the price of them. They're 1 GP each, so let's just forget the fact that I said I used like 5k on them and get a new task. Alright, so I know there's been a lot of Slayer in this episode. There's a reason to that though, because what I've been using lately is actually like either the Carol's crossbow, which is extremely expensive for me, or I can use the Magic shortbow, which is, you know, it's decent, but it's not the fastest in my opinion, and not the best either for leveling and stuff like that. But I really would like to get broad bolts, which is obviously quite decent, like it's for 61 ranged, and then you need 55 Slayer. It's extremely cheap to use them, and they're, you know, good damage ammo, and I think most people go for that pretty early in their account. And I'm only 49 right now, and actually, even though I want to get that like as soon as I possibly can, I want to switch things up a bit, so I'm actually going to just take this task and have that as my last assignment for this video. But anyways, let's get the task and see what we can get. And we get 160 Banshees. No clue how you would do that task. Well, I know what equipment you need earmuffs, I do believe. But anyways, I am going to get at that task and see what we can get from it. Look at that bald head with the earmuffs, it looks ridiculous. But we're done with the task. 22 tasks in a row and got 10 points for that. But anyways, the Pure Essence is not worth anything. I guess that's because of Nightmare Zone. I guess most people know that I plays old school, but you know, I'm not that active in the game, but I hopefully will be in the future. But anyways, there we go. And the Ranars, I think I said that earlier, but look at the price, 9.7k. I think they were like 9.3 last time I price checked them. So they're going up really fast. I think it might be due to Seiya. I'm not completely sure why, but that's what I've been hearing from different people. But anyways, let's mix up the video and do something else now. I only had 36 agility, but now I have 8 experience left to 40, so let's do this leap right here and pick up the Mark of Grace. I'm not sure if this is actually going to give me 40. Yep, it did. Alright, there we have it, 40. I can now do, let's see what I can do now, and we can do, what rooftop? Canopy's rooftop course, but that's not what we're going to do now. I just thought, you know, I'm pretty close to 40, and it wasn't actually that bad. I thought it would be more tedious than it actually was, but it was kind of fast, and what I'm going to do with these is just save them in the bank. You know, I asked a couple of people what you should probably do with them, and a couple of them said that you can buy them some items with it that gives you materials, which essentially you can change to money because they're used in herb lore or some stuff like that. And I thought, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Even though I'm pretty short on money at the moment, I am probably not going to do that because I feel like the graceful gear is quite costly and I really don't want to do more agility than I need to. So I'm probably just gonna save them in the bank and yeah, use them on that in the future. Just having a nice casual conversation with this guy right here. He seems like a nice guy, but anyways, I just got a medium clue, and what I want to do to finish up this episode is pretty much do a couple of medium clues and see if I can get something decent. I'm very poor right now, so I think anything that would be like over 100k would be quite awesome, but anyways, let's complete this and see what we get. Alright, let's have a look at what the first medium casket will give us. Let's open this, and we get... oh, we get a cosmetic. We get Armadillo Stole. I have no idea how much that is worth. Let's have a price check. And it is actually worth... alright, so it's worth almost nothing. It's like 9k OSRS price, 14k in-game price. But it nonetheless is something special, so I will go on to the next clue. Alright, second reward is nothing special to talk about at all. I think this is worth pretty much nothing. But anyways, it's fun to do these medium clues. I really do enjoy them. So I'm going to do one last one and finish up the episode with that one. Look at this guy having a cannon up here, but anyways, I'm going to dig here. There should be the casket, actually under this cannon probably. Let's dig here, and we should get the casket. This is step number 5, so I do believe this is actually the reward. Let's have a look at what the reward is. I hope these aren't aggressive and accidentally attack me when I open the clue. But there we go, and we get... holy shit, black elegant legs. Isn't that worth quite a bit? Maybe there... I know on RS3 it's like 1 mil, but it's probably not worth that much here. Let's have a look, and it's 55k. Alright, I'm going to end the episode with actually selling that, so let's go to the GE, and let's have a look at what the price of this actually is. Alright, so here we go. I think the price was actually just below the normal price. I'm going to actually put it on like 50k and see if it sells for that. Let's confirm, and it does sell for that, so let's see what it did sell for. 55k, I guess the OS body price is like very accurate, so... maybe it goes according to the GE values, I guess it does. So, anyways, that is going to be it for the episode. I hope you guys did enjoy this, and I know it was not the usual RS3 episode, but you know, I thought I'd mix it up a bit for those people who do enjoy playing this game as well as playing RS3. So anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this, and see you in the next episode.